Sam, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. The nice thing about real estate, you don't have to give it up. Like, I'd like to do this for another 34 years. And, you know, why wouldn't you if you enjoy what you're doing? You've got clients calling you and they appreciate your business and, you know, and they value you. Then, you know, because, you know, COVID taught me one other thing that, you know, retirement's not so great. If that's what retirement looks like, it's boring. Right? So I think you want to always continue to do something. It doesn't even have to be work related. It could be charitable, it could be whatever. But I think, you know, keeping, you know, having goals and it's really important, right? So.
Do you break your goals down into monthly, weekly, measurable numbers?
Yeah, listen, I used to break it down weekly, probably not so much weekly now, maybe, you know, I should do more like monthly, probably quarterly, but probably monthly and quarterly at the very worst, right? So, but at one point, for sure, when I was, you know, dialed in, I was probably daily, right? So, I mean, every day I was looking at my goals, measuring, I had my charts and everything, and, you know, very driven to make sure, you know, every year our business was growing, which was really nice because it told you you're doing something right. I mean, I think the first year things slowed, it didn't go quite as much, was maybe when there was a recessionary time. But anyway, there's reasons for it, but outside of that, our business has always gone up, you know, 15, 20% per annum, which, you know, is a testament to doing the right things. I think that's what everybody has to look at. Is your business growing? Is it not? Why isn't it? Can you do differently? You know, and I think you have to really analyze it or have somebody look at your business, see how you can make sure you're on the right trajectory as well.
Let me ask you this question, Sam. I mean, you're clearly still very driven. Where does the drive come from? Where does a passion come from?
I've always been really motivated. I mean, and I think everything I do, I don't want to ever, I want to win, right? So after this, we're going to play baseball with the team for an hour and I'm going to, you know, I want to win, right? So it's just, I think my mindset, right? That I don't, you know, I'm probably maybe too competitive, but I think that's me. And yeah, I don't think I can do something halfway. If I can't do it all the way, then I probably shouldn't do it, right? So I just don't think I can coast and say, let me just do this half-assed. It's just not me, right? So, and I think people, you know, you look at Michael Jordan, you watch, you know, his documentary and stuff, you know, he's like a winner. Like, he just doesn't want to fail. Like, he does everything the right way and to make sure he has success. You look at LeBron. I've got a place in Florida. My neighbor across the street, he used to be a professional basketball player. He's now with Miami Heat. And when LeBron was with him, he said LeBron invests $1 million a year on his body. So he will, yeah, on his body, yeah, from training to this. He goes, because I remember Toronto was playing Cleveland when LeBron was still with Cleveland, and we thought we should have won that series. And I told my friend, I think, you know, LeBron's depleted. They won 7 games, 2 series. This guy's a winner. You don't worry. He invests way too much himself. He's ready for the moment, right? And I think that's what we have to do. Be prepared for that moment, right? To, you know, most people just listen. Most people want to take the path of least resistance, right? And I think that you'll never succeed that way. You got to feel a little bit of pain, right? If you don't feel that pain, you're not going to succeed.
I was there at that game, and I remember LeBron had the ball. He wasn't even looking at the hoop. He turned around, let the ball go, and it just, like, swoosh. It was just insane. And,
yeah, that killed us. That shot killed us.
Honestly, he touched the ball, and every single time he touched the ball, it was a 2-pointer. It was just insane.
Yeah, a winner, right? Like, winner mentality.
Yeah. Are you willing to share your GCI with us?
Yeah, sure. I think we're last year, maybe around 15-ish, I think. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great numbers.
15 to 20 in that range there, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, too.
That's the boxing, right?
Yeah. Little jab there. I love it. Any other questions for Sam, guys? The coach, we have a question here about coaching, and that was asked and answered a few times. So
yeah,
I'll circulate the webinar and the recording of the webinar to everybody, and you guys can replay it. And that question was asked multiple times.
This was wonderful, Sam. This was a treat.
Yeah, guys, I appreciate it. Is there any other questions there? I'm happy to answer any other questions.
This was amazing.
Well, we have a few questions in the other window, Sabiha.
Yeah. What's the benefit of being a team like Sam? Why join a team?
Well, listen, there's no right or wrong reason. I mean, I think that sometimes being a singular agent makes a lot of sense. Sometimes being on a team makes sense because of economies of scale, and you can tap into maybe what a team can bring, which a single agent maybe can't because of the volume of business. So, you know, I think even within Sutton, I'm sure there's some really good teams there. So if somebody's maybe feeling like, you know, a team environment makes sense, I'm sure there's great people there that, could be good team leaders for people who are singular agents who are looking for that platform. But I think for our teammates, it's probably, some training, some mentoring, lead generation opportunities. It's all of the above that I think makes sense for people on the team, right? But I think also, they can tap into a lot of the value-added services that, maybe a single agent, it's harder for them to do, right? So
more money to go around in terms of marketing.
Yeah, I think so, right? So, from staging to pre-inspections to marketing to this to that, right? So
share costs. There's a question about marketing, and I'm gonna put my own spin on it. What has worked best for you in the past recent years? Because it has changed a lot. There's so much social media, there's so much other stuff, and we see your billboards and all that, and we see that you're a part of Trillium charity and you do a lot of that stuff as well. But what do you think is working best in terms of this new millennial animal that we have, that is our new client now?
Yeah, to your point, everything's changing so quick, right? So we're always evaluating what's working. So we know print is different today. We know online's important. We know, social media is becoming important too. It's funny because social media, I think it's important to grow your number of followers, because when you have a good message, if you have 20 followers, it's not benefit. Like, you send a message out to 20 people, it's not enough, right? So I think grow your followers, but then, sometimes we'll post some really nice house pictures, which are, and then we'll get calls. We want to see that house. So even social media will still now yield us some potential opportunities, which is great, but you need to grow that. And I think that's important as well. Online, I think, is obviously important. Visibility is important too. So depending on what each agent's goals are, it kind of dictates what they should be doing. Like for me, I knew I want to be all in. I want to, and I think when I started finally seeing some level of success, I didn't, envision maybe being where we are today. It wasn't like, I'm very proud we got here. It was just more, well, I'm really enjoying it. Let's just see where we can take it, right? So, and then from there, things evolved. And once you started realizing we're onto something pretty good, let's keep going, right? Let's keep growing it and let's take it to the highest level. And at one point we were, number one RE/MAX team worldwide, right? Which is pretty cool, of 100,000 realtors. But that was not my vision. My vision is find your passion, and the passion hopefully will lead you to being happy. And if you're happy, you can have good results, right? Mm-hmm. And the windfall was having success beyond what we thought we would, but that was because all the right things were in place.
There's a question of what you would have done differently if you were a new agent at this point.
Yeah, well, listen, like I said earlier, I think for sure. So when I grew my business, and the reason we built a team, it wasn't because, I wanted teams weren't as prevalent back then. It was more out of necessity. I just can't keep providing the service I want to as my client base is growing. So let me bring some people on to help us out, right? And I think that was the thought process. But without a shadow of a doubt, I would bring on, at a certain point, once your business gets to a certain level, bring on an assistant to help you with your day-to-day affairs that aren't really, beneficial for you doing, like putting on lock boxes, doing this, doing that. Those tasks should be done by the administrator. Once you have a certain level of business, you can hone in on the money-making activities where you should shine.
Awesome. Well, Sam, listen, I think we're going to end it there. Thank you very much for coming today and for giving us the time. This is extremely informative, and it was a great pleasure having you on today.
I appreciate you guys inviting me, and hopefully we'll see you guys again soon.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye, guys.